And welcome back into the Roundtable Road Trip, broadcasting live in beautiful Niagara Falls. We're at the McBain Community Center this morning, a great city for generations to come. And now we're going to talk about some of the development, the stuff that's happening downtown. Joining us now is Dean Spironello, Economic Development Officer. Good morning, Dean.
Good morning. Great job with the last name.
Oh, thank you so much. I do try to pronounce them. I'll see if I can get this one. Dr. David Gray.
That's me.
All
Good
right.
morning.
President and Vice-Chancellor of the University of Niagara Falls. Okay, this is very exciting to have you guys both here. Dr. Gray, we'll start with you, because I was just saying off air, I feel like not a day goes by when I don't see something happening with the university. There's a lot happening. It's been, 18 months since you guys started?
Months. Yeah, 18 months. April last year, we got our first students through the door, and a lot's been going on. I think anyone who's been in the downtown area will have seen our students around. It's made a significant difference already. And in fact, last night we had our first event to celebrate the first group of students completing their master's programs with us. It was wonderful.
Wow, that is so wonderful. And what are some of those programs they were graduating from?
The first two programs were the Master of Management and the Master of Data Analytics. So they were the first two that we started. And then we have our big first graduation will be in May next year. And we've got about 750 students graduating in May next year.
Okay, that's tremendous. Dean, I'll go to you. Speak to that impact that David was just mentioning with the students being downtown. What kind of difference has that made in the last 18 months?
Well, anyone who's been downtown over the past year and a half has probably recognized that there's been an influx of, younger people with laptop bags and so on, walking around our Centennial Square in the street. And the university's an anchor institution in our downtown. So, downtown is a special place, I think, in the minds and hearts of Niagara Falls residents. It's our historic downtown. But the university is, it's a major piece looking forward. What's the next generation of downtown going to look like? And we see that as being a lot of what has always been there, our professional services, small independent businesses, but also somewhat of a university district with everything the University of Niagara Falls has done and will continue to do.
Well, it also occurs to me there's a nice partnership in terms of bringing young people to a place where young people might need part-time jobs, right? You talked about some of those small businesses. There's that synergy, right?
Absolutely. And I don't think people realize, just if we look at food and beverage businesses alone, we have over 20 of those businesses on Queen Street. Queen Street's just over a kilometer long, so that's quite a concentration of businesses in that area. And not to mention, again, all the professional services, retail businesses, and some of our institutional businesses as well.
All right. And you mentioned, David, some of the programs that you had those graduations from. Now, just 18 months in, you're going to be expanding your programs.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we started with 5 programs. That was the maximum number we could with a new university. So along with the first 2, we had the Master of Arts in Digital Media and Global Communications, Bachelor of Business Administration, and then a Bachelor of Sciences in Biomedical Sciences. And we're joining those with 3 new programs that have been through provincial government approval. So in January, we have a Master of Arts in Applied Social Psychology. And then in October next year, we will have a Master of Computer Science in Applied Artificial Intelligence and a Master of Healthcare Management.
Okay, and tell us, you just mentioned the government piece there. It's not like you guys can just get together in a boardroom and go, it'd be nice, we should have this sort of program. You have to go through a whole series of a process.
Yeah, so it's quite a rigorous process. So any program that we actually develop has to be formally approved by the provincial government. And that's the same process that any university in Ontario has to go through. And that involves bringing professors from other universities that are specialists in that particular field to look at the program. They do a visit, they meet people, they look at the resources, and then they collectively decide whether the program is going to meet the requirements and the standards expected.
It's almost like peer review when we hear that about studies.
Yeah, peer review. Yeah, so a student who comes to us will know and be confident that the master's they're getting from us is the same qualification, same standard as if they went to U of T, Guelph, Waterloo, Brock, any of them.
Okay,
Yeah.
that is tremendous, Dean, right? When you talk about looking to the future for downtown, that you see this university not only as like a pillar, it's a pillar that's growing.
Well, absolutely, and it's not just about downtown development, although it is a big piece there, but it's about workforce development as well, and bringing talent to the area and developing our talent so that people have skills that will be in demand, in the future. And some of those jobs, may not exist in abundance right now, but we're planning for the future. That's what workforce development is. Thinking of what will the needs be of industry and employers, looking out 5, 10 plus years and trying to prepare for that now.
Okay, tell us about some of the other things going on downtown. What other plans do you have to, just sort of continue to round out what is offered and what is there for people?
Sure. So over the past year and a half to 2 years, we've had a Downtown Advisory Committee of Council. We have Mayor Diodati, Councillor Mona Patel, and 10 businesses and commercial property owners from the downtown. One of the things we've been doing is marketing the downtown. So making sure that residents know there's still lots happening. So if your listeners go to downtownniagarafalls.com or visit Downtown Niagara Falls on Facebook or Instagram, they'll see that there's new businesses opening. We just have 2 new coffee shops. We have Cafe and Coffee Pals that are opening this month.
People are looking for new coffee places, right? We want to support local, changing our habits a little bit.
And it's lucky for me at City Hall, I can just walk to them, so no issues there. And you'll see some of the events that have been happening. We just celebrated Halloween on Queen. Over 200 pumpkins were carved by kids from the area. That was put on by Cat and Monkey Events and Ronnie Don's Ice Cream, 2 local businesses. The Santa Claus Parade is upcoming. You'll see that there'll be beautiful street lighting to celebrate downtown, and of course the merchants, they have an opportunity to showcase their businesses to the thousands of people that will be coming downtown to celebrate the parade.
What about residential? You have all these young people coming. Do we have places for them to stay?
Yeah, absolutely. And the University of Niagara Falls has been building out some residence for their students, and you can already see one of those on River Road, just around the corner from our downtown. And then as well, some of the projects the city are working on Park Street, which will bring an influx of new residents, because you need consumers within walking distances for the businesses to continue to thrive. So that is certainly a piece of it. We've been working a lot on building out that commercial portfolio as well, making sure we reduce the amount of vacancies we have downtown and make sure that there's lots of life going on. And I think, if you visit downtown on a Friday or Saturday night, you'll definitely feel that. My friends and I think it's a great spot to do a pub crawl. So anyone looking for a pub crawl idea this Christmas or this winter, take my advice and maybe check it out.
It's kind of funny you say, marketing downtown Niagara Falls. Like, Niagara Falls needs marketing? Come on, it's worldwide. Everybody knows about Niagara Falls. But we do forget, right, as locals, about the gems we have right in our backyard.
Well, absolutely. And, I think if you ask most residents, where is downtown, Queen Street is what comes to mind. And of course, we have our thriving tourism core, which is really built around the Niagara Falls wonder. But we do have our historic downtown. It still very much has a unique identity. It's just steps away from the GO train station, which just had a $2 million investment to really enhance that. We'll have 2 more GO train services on Saturday and Sunday, coming to Niagara Falls, going to Toronto. So, things are happening downtown, and people who come downtown realize that. And it's just making sure that everyone in the community, is plugged in to what's happening there.
Dr. Gray, speak to the relationship between the university and the city.
So we work really, really closely, and in fact, we have representation on the downtown advisory group as well. And we're very much committed to the downtown area. We're right there on Queen Street. Our students over the last since January have put in over 4,000 volunteering hours. In the downtown area to various organizations, the food bank and so on and so forth. They really are community focused and they want to be part of the community. And I would also say that, the welcome that we've received from the downtown and also Niagara Falls as a whole has been incredible. People stopping me in the street, asking how things going, and so on and so forth. Our students have had an incredibly warm welcome as well. It's just absolutely phenomenal. It really is.
Well, it's a big city, kind of with a small town feel, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What's the, in terms of students, do we have a lot of local people coming from out of town? What's the mix there?
So we have a lot of international students at the moment. We do have domestics as well. But at the present time, as a new university, I think the domestic students are kind of watching to see what's going on. University, what's all that about, right? But we're part of Global University Systems, which is one of the largest networks of higher education institutions in the world. And so we've got a very strong recruitment team around the world, and there is a huge amount of international interest in the university. And part of that reason is because of its location. Right, everybody knows Niagara Falls.
Of course,
right?
yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
So it's a perfect place for students to come and study. It's a city with a small town feel. As you've already said, we're right on the border. So if people want to, break out and actually explore a little bit of North America, they can do that as well. And then, of course, just outside the city, it's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So yeah, students are absolutely loving it.
It's great. It's great. Thank you guys both so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much.
Dr. David Gray, President and Vice-Chancellor, University of Niagara Falls, and Dean Spironello, Economic Development Officer, City of Niagara Falls. Okay, we'll talk to the mayor and the CAO coming up next. This is 610 CKTB, Niagara's News and Talk. Good job, guys. The alarm didn't go off too much there. Yeah.
Oh,
We always
We're
gotta
okay.
just
we're seasoned veterans.